Hi guys, today I'm bringing you one of my favorite comfort foods with a slightly different flavor and also made easier and much more fun. These are my individual chickpea pot pies that are made either in a muffin tin or a small ramekin, and they bake up into these crispy delicious pies that are filled with this creamy vegetable and chickpea filling that is absolutely delicious. For the filling, I'm using a Tuscan sauce that is usually used to make Tuscan chicken and adding vegetables and chickpeas to it. That sauce is mind-blowingly delicious with the umami from the sun-dried tomato, lots of herbs, the creaminess from cashew milk, and a complex deep flavor from miso and balsamic vinegar. You can add a different protein in this sauce as well. Add some cannellini beans, some cubed up tofu, chopped up vegan chicken, soy curls, or whatever you like. This is a fantastic pot pie filling that you can use to make your regular pot pie as well, using your own crust or make these mini pot pies. These are going to be a hit at your next holiday dinner. To simplify the things even further, I use some puff pastry instead of making my own pie crust. If you want to make your pie crust, you can do that as well. The puff pastry is easy to handle and shape into whatever form you want, and it bakes up golden and flaky and crispy. That goes amazingly with this creamy pot pie filling. You can make these ahead by making the filling up to 3 days before and refrigerating it, and then making the pies the day you need them. If you're making these mini pot pies in a muffin tin, you can assemble them, fill them up, top them with the puff pastry sheet, and then freeze them until frozen. Then remove from your muffin pan and freeze them in an airtight container for up to 2 months. And then you can bake them right out of the freezer. You can also freeze them after they are baked and then reheat them in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. I prefer to freeze them before they are baked because the double baking will dry out the filling a little bit and it will become a bit more thicker. So I prefer to freeze them before baking. If you prefer a traditional pot pie filling, check out my vegan pot pie with the black pepper biscuits. That is the herb pot pie filling that you can use in these mini pies as well. So let's make these amazing mini pot pies. To make our vegetable and chickpea filling, add oil to a deep skillet or a saucepan over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, add in the minced garlic and cook for about 15 seconds. Then add in your chopped onion and celery and mix in. Add a pinch of salt and cook until the onion starts to turn translucent. Then add in the mushrooms and the balsamic vinegar and mix in, and continue to cook this for 3 to 4 minutes until some of the mushrooms start to turn golden. Then fold in all of the herbs. That's your rosemary, your thyme, black pepper, onion powder, Italian seasoning, salt and bay leaves. Then fold in the sun-dried tomato, the vegetables and the chickpeas. Add a good pinch of salt and mix in, and let this cook for another 4 to 5 minutes. In the meanwhile, blend up the cashew milk with cashews, water, miso and flour until the cashews are blended in really well. I usually blend it for a minute, let that mixture sit for 3 to 4 minutes for the cashews to rehydrate, and then blend again for half a minute. I repeat this for another 1 or 2 times until the mixture is really smooth. Once the mixture is smooth, add that to your saucepan or skillet and mix in and bring to a good boil. Then taste and adjust the salt and flavor. Add more herbs if you like, add more salt if you like. You can add some heat with red pepper flakes or add some smoked paprika. Basically adjust the flavor at this point. Reduce the heat to medium-low and let it simmer for another 3 to 4 minutes for it to thicken a little bit. We want this filling to get pretty thick so that we can add it easily to the puff pastry cups and it doesn't make the pastry too soggy. Once the filling has thickened a little bit, switch off the heat. I usually let it sit on the counter for 5 minutes or so and then put it in the fridge to cool for 15 to 20 minutes or longer. In the meanwhile, remove your puff pastry sheet from the freezer and let it sit on the counter for 15 to 20 minutes for it to thaw a little bit and get pliable. Once the puff pastry sheet is pliable enough, unfold the puff pastry sheet, use a little flour and roll it out to about 2 inches larger than its original size. Then using a pizza cutter or a knife, slice it into 6 pieces. Then use the knife or the pizza cutter to take off some strips from the edges. We're not going to waste any of these strips. We're going to put them on top of the pot pie. Now you can make these in small ramekins or a muffin tin. Grease the ramekins or the muffin tin really well. You can also line them with parchment if you don't want to grease them. Then press each of your puff pastry square in either the ramekin or the muffin tin so that the edges of the puff pastry sheets are above the edges of the ramekin or the muffin tin. Then scoop spoonfuls of your cool pot pie filling in these puff pastries. If you don't have enough strips of the puff pastry sheet remaining, you can use another puff pastry sheet, make whatever shapes that you like, and then place those shapes on top of these pot pies. You can put some strips, circles, flowers, hearts, or you can put a whole square on these pot pies and seal them. If you're sealing them completely, don't forget to make a hole on top so that the steam can escape. Then brush some oil on all of these mini pot pies and bake for 25 to 30 minutes. or until they are golden brown and nicely puffy. Remove the muffin tins or the ramekin from your oven and let it cool for a few minutes. Then use a knife or a spatula to carefully pop these out, then serve them immediately. These are great as a part of your holiday spread, as one of the mains, sides, or even an appetizer. They're amazing, they're easy, and they're super delicious. The crispy puff pastry with a creamy, hot, delicious veggie filling, they just work so perfectly well with each other, and the creamy sauce easily hides all the vegetables and protein you add to the filling. You can change up the filling flavor to be much easier by adding some vegan parmesan or nutritional yeast to the sauce. This is a super flexible recipe. Change the flavors and the ingredients based on your preference and let me know if you try them. For more holiday ideas, do try out my lentil quinoa loaf, my chickpea veggie loaf, or my gluten-free holiday roast. For more pot pies, you can make my pot pie with black pepper biscuits, you can make my everything bagel pot pie, or you can make my fusion butter chicken sauce pot pie or my masala pot pie. There are plenty of pot pie options. You can use any of those fillings to make these mini pot pies as well. If you do try these mini pot pies, do let me know in the comments how you like them. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more easy vegan recipes, for more holiday recipes, and for Indian vegan recipes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.